do it. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Just do it. Some people dream success. Well, you're going to wake up and work hard at it. Nothing is impossible. You should get to the point where anyone else would quit. And you're not going to stop there. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it. Yes, you can. Just do it. If you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. Yeah, thanks, Shia. We're now on the stream mindset, and we're going to be working on some very slow Flam on one grid. But first, we're going to warm up, stretch and massage, and then we'll get into the grind. So stay tuned on today's episode of Practicing Publicly. Now, I'm going to warm up with a different grid variation than Flam on one, which you can find here. There's over 2,000 hours of free play-alongs. These are all YouTube videos, and because there are so many different videos, this is the best way to sort through it all, is just go to the link that's top of the screen. So I'm going to do a Flam 5 variation, and we're just going to do normal Flam 5 on one grid. There's also the 1-2-4 version, which is backwards, as well as a bunch more variants. But we're going to use this to just warm up, get the blood flowing, and then we'll stretch and massage. So 120 BPMs in all the timestamps. We can actually go right here and turn up the volume. Cool. And then it taps you off, and you're good to go. Agreed. First time playing. Hard one to jump right into. Okay, we'll do it to 124. Then we'll stretch and massage. Two more reps. Ew. All right, last rep. For the moment. All right, let's stretch and massage. So the first thing I'm going to do is you take your sticks and you hold it so that your palms are facing up. And then you pull in. Good morning on TikTok. How you doing, Dewan? And you push it out like that. This is a good one. Learned this from Kyle, my first drum teacher. Oh, it feels great on my left right now. Now, to exit the stretch, just simply go back out the way that you came in. I'm glad to hear you're doing good. Now, if you do traditional rotate and hold right here, ooh, that feels good. And hold this for like 15, 20, 30 seconds, whatever. And then rotate and hold to the other end of the continuum. But I don't do that anymore. So now what I'm going to do is stretch the underside right here. So you could do it one at a time like this. Oh, that feels great. Last time I did the stream on Saturday, I demonstrated on the wall. The lower you go, the deeper the stretch. But today I'm going to demonstrate here. So all you do is put a little bit of weight, not a lot of weight, into it to stretch both of them simultaneously on your pad or sibling, whatever. Only child. I don't know how sibling dynamics work. Nice. Okay. Now that we've done that, now we're going to stretch the top side of the forearm. So you could do that. You could do this on your leg, or you could do it up on the wall, but the higher you go, the deeper the stretch. Siblings aren't good? Yeah, I kind of figured that. Great stuff, thank you. Appreciate you, Easy. I looked at all my friends who had siblings and I was like, I'm not envious of that dynamic, but I know some people have great relationships. Usually it's when you become an adult, but when you're like a teenager, elementary school, etc., it's like, whew, it doesn't look fun. But I don't know any different. Now what I'm going to do is stretch the fingers. Ooh, thumb to thumb. Very nice. This feels great. I need it. And then index to index. And then we'll do middle to middle in a moment. So after the stretch and massage routine, I'm going to play the Flam 5-on-1 grid again, but I'm going to go as fast as I possibly can this morning. And then we'll get into the Flams on 1 grid as slow as the play along can go. Which in this case, because I'm doing the triplet version, it's 40 beats a minute, and we're just going to grind out some technique work. Woohoo! And pinky to pinky. All right, now that I've stretched, what I want to do is now massage. So I'm going to do thumb on top and fingers underneath. Massaging. Getting everything nice and relaxed. Depending on how your arms are feeling, you might need to massage your triceps, your biceps, maybe even your shoulders, or stretch out your neck, etc. Depends on what you did in the last, 48, 72 hours or so. If you're tight up top, it's going to affect your hands. The tension just kind of works its way down into your hands and your forearms, etc. So you need to stay nice and relaxed. But, whoops. Foot pedal. Kicking it. All right, you did some upper body stretches earlier. Trying to work out. Trying to stay healthy. Emphasis on trying. And cool. So my right arm feels okay today, but my left arm's extra tight, so it's interesting. Now what we're going to do is we're going to massage the palm with the thumb, and the fingers are going to massage the back side of the hand. And you may notice some blue on my hands. I did not high-five a Smurf. I did not audition for the Blue Man Group. I dyed my wife's hair. Did a split dye, 2 different colors of blue. And some of it got on my hand. Now it's stained. No! But her hair looks good. And she's happy. Just like our doggo, Minnie, who's looking out her window on top of her 2-story doggo fort. She's adorable. Okay, now that we massaged the palm, I'm going to massage from the base to the tip of the finger. So do this at least 2 times. And then this is the last little massage that we'll do, and we'll get back into some playing. I am Skaze. Thank you for the follow on Instagram. I appreciate it. That finger's a little tight, so I'm going to do a little more. And then we go, yeah. Massage the other hand. Okay, so we're going to play through this again. Flam 5-on-1 triplet grid. This is the forward version. It's a 4-2-1 rather than 1-2-4. And it's fun to play. Let's do it. So we'll pick off where we left off at 125. And now I'm going to go by 5s and intentionally find my breaking point to go faster than I should. Alrighty, and then to jump up by 5, you just go down to the timestamps in the description, and you just click somewhere else and go, let's do 130. Do it! Yes, you can! this so I can hit the space bar without banging into the microphone. And let's actually go up by 10. Woo! Big spender. Because I want to get into the slow Flam accents. Slowly refined technique. Yeah! 150. This will probably be the breaking point. My hands are a little tight this morning. This is a wee bit fast, and these are extra heavy sticks, double taped, and they're Hardeman hammers, so they're extra heavy. Hey! Better than I thought it would go, to be honest. I'll probably listen to the playback and go, It's important to review streams. 1, to find clips to pull out. 2, so I can improve as a streamer, even though it's the YouTube stuff that I want to make money off of. Not streaming. Like these play-alongs. I did write thousands of them. So that way people can use them and then get some AdSense off of it without having to charge people for free resources that I wish I had. You have to go to class. Well, enjoy your class. I appreciate you stopping in on TikTok. Hope you have a enjoyable experience. As a former educator, I can say that sometimes it's not. We found the breaking point, folks. How many you need to go? Okay. You go. She couldn't get to her water bowl. Fixed. Okay. This play along and literally thousands more. Link at the top of the screen, jaredo'leary.com/drum. If you don't want to go there, that's fine. You could also just go to my YouTube. So like if we click on here and we just go to my YouTube. The home tab is where you find all the drumming stuff, neatly organized. I also have gaming content, computer science content, and then some life stuff like updates on this channel and vlogs, etc. So check out that, because I create a ton of content. You want to go to the home tab to find it all. But excuse me. Anyways, where be ye? Okay, so we're going to do a grid variation. There's almost 800 grid variations right now. We're going to do Flam on 1. So this one. And we're going to do this at 40. So normally I'd like click on what BPM I want. But it starts at 40. So we're just going to let it play. You do your thing. Might need to let Minnie out. It's so slow. We're going to refine technique with it. So I'm trying to stay nice and relaxed on the accents. Just pull back. Oops. Started playing line 2. Let the weight of the stick do the work. And technically that should end with a flam, so if you don't want to, that's fine. You can end just with the last left. I'm also checking out the angle of my hands so I can get my left to match my right hand. I marched traditional, so my left hand match grip still needs a lot of work. My accent's a little too heavy. Again, stay relaxed. Let the weight do the work. The spacing between the grace and the primary note. Talking and thinking mess up my attack. Oh no! So I'm also going to, on the next rep, go into full screen mode, and then we're going to try and review it. And hopefully, the play along is going to work on YouTube. It didn't work last time. Good morning, Norden. Make little micro adjustments in my technique. Kind of make some micro mistakes, or some macro ones sometimes. Okay. Let's switch cameras. So we'll do this one, and then we'll watch the replay on YouTube. And hopefully it is working good. Whoops. Okay, so let's pull this up and let's actually see if the instant replay works right now. We're live. Okay, so cool. And let's put it in super slow-mo. We'll go ahead and mute it. Although I think at this speed it mutes it. Okay, so I'm trying to look for inconsistencies between my right and my left hand. There's a little too much emphasis on the accent. And my left hand pinky was about to come off right there. So that's something that I could look at. Although the pinky giving space is not an issue, it's only when it creates tension. That's when it's an issue whenever you're playing. Which is something that like a lot of intermediate drummers don't understand. Is like they've heard for years, like, don't pull your pinky off. And it's like, well, why? It's not because of the visual thing. It's because it causes tension. If you're focusing on the visual side of things, you're not focusing on long-term playing and your hand health, etc. Like, focus on the sound quality. Focus on how your hands are going to look and feel 10, 20 years from now. But when you have this like narrow scope of view where you're just thinking about in the moment and like what it looks like for a show, etc., that's I would argue not the way to go. Yeah, so the right hand is fine. The accent looks a little bit better. Okay. So this next set of reps, I'm going to focus on the hands and focus on, just go back to here, keeping that pinky on and then not emphasizing the accents too much. So we'll just pick up where we left off with 45. Okay, it's not muted. Cool, we should be good to go. Yeah. Ew. See, those accents are too heavy. It's okay to pull them back, but I don't need to, like... I need to clean the beads of these again. They're getting some pad gunk on it. This pad is like 20 years old almost. So it's like not as nice as it used to be when I first got it. It's got some particles flying off. Didn't mean to do a rim shot there. A little extra flavoring. A little secret sauce. Those Flam accents. Okay, one more rep like this, then we'll switch to the full screen. The pinky feels better, but the accents on the first measure, I have a tendency to make them too emphasized. And then I go, wait, don't do that. Switch cameras. Okay, so let's pull this up again. Just around the river bend. There and there. And here. And okay, we're muted. Ah, the replay is gonna be all wonky. Let's try it with auto quality. Yeah, it is on auto. It's got the frame rate issue that it had on Thursday. My internet's being slow. That's a little better. It's still a little wonky, but it's at least better. Yes, I'm looking at my taps right now. And my hand angles are, or not the angles, the like the velocity, so the direction and the speed of it are slightly different between my two hands on the taps. Yeah, I need to flatten or turn my left hand a little more. It's still a little flatter than the right. And that's no good. Let's see, it might be hard to see this, but so see how this angle is different than this angle a little bit? So that's what I want to try and fix. That's been like a known issue for myself for a while, so I'm still working on that. Always working on stuff. Okay, so let's focus on this next set of reps. Play. Cool. Don't think it's muted. No, it's not. All right. Thank you for the sub on YouTube, Matthew. I appreciate you. Early there. I was changing the touch, the amount of velocity and the weight of the stick on the flams. Just kind of experimenting. Thinking. There we go. All right, so the touch, I was trying to adjust on the taps so it had the weight without over forcing them, and I just finally got it to feel better. Yay! Let's see if I can be consistent with it. All right, check the instant replay. Find some more stuff to work on. Shh, 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 shh. There we go. Okay, so we're watching at normal speed right now. So the fingers are nice and relaxed. There's still that little frame rate issue there. This looks a little stuttery. So the angles are a little bit better from the left and the right hand, which is good. I wanted to try and adjust that so this one wasn't as flat. Too many years playing traditional messed up my left hand match grip, but that's okay. We're working on it. The space between the hands are good. It allows the stick to vibrate more, which is the thing that I learned from Jeff Queen. He's talking about how the stick should vibrate, like it should hum. So whenever you're hitting it, I've got a video on my website that kind of talks about that, but I'm actually going to re-record it and make it even shorter and more to the point. Yeah, so that's fine. The fingers are relaxed, but let's look at this slower. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah, so there's a difference in the motion from the left and the right hand taps. It's slightly emphasized because of the tattoo on my right arm, but the left hand is initiating the motion in a different way than the right. I'm not sure what exercise I should use to work on that. I could do like double stops and kind of like overanalyze stuff, but I'll think about that more. And maybe on the next technique stream on Thursday, I'll have an answer for that. But for tomorrow, it's gonna be drum kit, so working on limb independence. But let's play the next 5 clicks. All right. Okay, 2 more reps and then we'll go to the other camera angle. Then I'm going to do something a little different in the playback. Show you another way you can work on it. Stay tuned. Rush that. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. So let's talk about this and let's analyze this. Let's go back. Back again. Jared's back. Tell a friend. You can't see that. All right. So whenever you're practicing, every 5-10 reps, if you can, I highly recommend recording yourself so that way you can analyze your technique both in real time, but also if you can slow it down and the frame rates allow you to like actually see fluid motion with your technique, you can really analyze like what's different between my right and my left hand when playing this grid variation, etc. Now, because I'm practicing this slow, like here's the normal speed for this, you can also look at this at like double time or 1.5 times speed and see, does this look good? Does it look like the technique that I want to use when I'm actually playing through it fast? So this is a helpful way that you can do this, whether you're like live streaming yourself like I am, or if you are like recording yourself with your phone or whatever. Now, let's go and we're actually going to go up by 10s now. So this was going up by 1s. And so now I'm going to try and find some more data that I can use for like the next technique stream, just by going faster than I was for the slow speeds, so for the last 20 beats a minute. Okay, so this won't feel very different, but as you're going through it, something in my eye, you're going to want to check to make sure that nothing changes with your technique as you go faster. The changes are what you then work on for next time. So I'll kind of emphasize this after I do it and find the breaking point. So then after we do this, after we collect some data, I'm then going to just chop out to end with something fun. So that way I'm like excited to drum again next time. So little pro tip there. If you end with something fun for the last 5-10% of your practice session, then it's going to make it so that you like remember, oh yeah, that was enjoyable. And you're more likely to pick up your sticks again and continue to do that grind. just started playing the wrong part. That's okay. That was just a brain fart. I was thinking about what I wanted to elaborate on after we do this. Always trying to find stuff that I can share to try and help people out with, like, little short form lessons or tips and whatnot. The stuff I wish I knew when I was a beginner and intermediate drummer. Now that I've been playing for over 25 years, it's harder to find those little tips. A lot of the advanced players don't know how to communicate what they're doing because they are performers and not educators. Whereas my background, all three of my degrees are in music education, so I try and focus on how to communicate it in a way that's hopefully accessible. Although it's way harder to do it in this, like, asynchronous, like me recording something and then sharing it, compared to, like, in person, where I can be like, did that make sense? And they'll be like, no, explain it differently. And I'll be like, okay. That's so much easier. Respond to that in a bit. Let's do 100. Tan. My Flam accents do feel better at the faster speeds. We're gonna try and find that breaking point. That was mental. As in, like, I mentally was focused on something else, which is kind of the theme. Most mistakes are mental. Usually it doesn't have to do with the hands after a certain point of practicing. Your hands are fairly consistent, as long as you're warmed up. Thinking about what I want to elaborate on next. Actually, I'll be back in 1 second. There we go. I was like, the mic's not working. Okay, cool. So we're going to resume this. We'll do it at 140. I had to respond to that message. And I had to go to the bathroom. It's like, micturation levels are high. Phone alarm's going off. Whoops. Okay. 150. Let's see. Okay. I'll respond to that in a minute. Again, that was just like another mental one. My hand, I was going to play the wrong thing. Okay. 160. All right. 170. Boop-a-doop-boop-a-doop. All right, so we're getting to the breaking point. 180. Here we go. Let's try that again, folks. Unacceptable. That is flawless. Okay, so that's the breaking point. So we found it. Okay, so if you want to collect data on how you are doing with something, one of the things that you could do... how do I want to phrase this? So if you want to prove like an exercise or rudiment or whatever, one of the ways that you can do that is going one click at a time with your drumming. So on these play-alongs, you can go from 80 to 81 to 82, etc. Timestamps allow you to do that. But in order to figure out what it is that you need to work on, what I recommend doing is going 5, 10, maybe even 20 clicks at a time, depending on how fast you can play something, to find out how does it sound when you start at 40 and then go to 50 to 60, 70, etc. And eventually you're going to get to a point where you might alter your technique from like a slower technique to a faster technique. And it's going to kind of be in that gray area where it does not sound great. That gray area is where you should really like back up maybe 10, 15 clicks and go one click at a time to sit there and refine your technique, so that way you can try and get your slower technique to match your faster technique as much as possible. Ideally, it should just be one consistent technique from beginning to end, but there tends to be this like difference between slower and faster, and then that middle ground where you, like your hands are kind of unsure, which one should I do? Should I play the faster technique or the slower technique? So after you find that gray area, again, just go into the timestamps of any of these like 2,000 hours of free drumming play-alongs and just go up one click at a time to slowly refine yourself. So that's what I was doing with this. So the first 20 beats a minute, I was going slow. And then for this last part, I was going up 10 clicks at a time to figure out, okay, what's changing with this? And then again, pulling up the play along, or the playback rather, and watching the technique and trying to refine it. Excuse me. Now, I am going to call it here. So we worked on our Flam accents, and they're a little bit better. There are several hundred, almost 800 more grid variations. There's 324 of triplet and 446 of 16th note. So plenty of stuff to keep you busy, as well as a bunch of technique and chop stuff. I release a new play along every single day. So plenty more to come. I've got stuff scheduled through almost the end of April right now. New chop stuff, like all these chug variations will be coming out. A bunch of different grid variations as well. Technique exercises. Right now it's releasing a bunch of drum charts. So there's going to be more of those. So if you look here, there's going to be 30 normal charts and then 5 advanced charts. And I'm going to keep adding more like throughout this year and beyond. So stay tuned for more. But I'm actually going to switch it up. So it did say on YouTube that I was planning on, no, I can't sub to myself, that I was planning on doing Far Cry 6, but I'm actually going to do Fortnite. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to go get set up for it. But I appreciate everybody who's stopping by on all the different platforms, on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, and any of the other ones where people were quiet. I do appreciate you, and I hope that you enjoy all these free play-alongs. And again, if you don't want to go to the link at the top of the screen, then cool. Just go to the YouTube channel and go to the homepage where you can find all the drumming stuff neatly organized into playlists and whatnot. But my website's even better organization because I have more control over it. And here's all the gaming stuff. Here's all the computer science stuff as well, if you're into that. But thank you again, and I hope you all have a great rest of your morning.